Okay, so for a quick recap of the exercises that we were going through earlier, first off, the main one was going to be rocking. So just on all fours, you can either do this on your hands or on your fists, whatever you find more comfortable. We're just going to be rocking back and forth. Obviously, if you do it on your hands, you'll get a bit of wrist mobility as well as the shoulder, hip, knee and ankle. But just do whatever's comfortable. For me, I'm more comfy on my fists. So we're just going to be rocking backwards and forwards at our own pace. And then you're going to be doing some circles as well in each direction. And you can play with where you put your arms as well, so you can get a bit more of that range with your shoulders. All up, you're going to be doing this for at least 30 seconds. You can do it up to 2 minutes or even 10 minutes if you really like. Depends on the day and what you're feeling. But just really figure out where you're feeling tight on that day and just play around with that hand positioning. So that's going to really mobilize that shoulder and really start using that rotator cuff properly. So next one that we're going to do from there, we're just going to do those shoulder blade push-ups. So I'm going to be keeping my elbows nice and straight and locked out. And then from there, I'm going to push my body away. So my shoulder blades are coming away from my spine. And then what I'm going to do is bring my body towards the ground. So my shoulder blades are pinching together in the back and then pushing away. So just do that one nice, slow and controlled. And do that for about 30 seconds as well. After we've done that, we're just going to come back down as far as you're comfy. If you can sit on your heels, that's fantastic. Just stretch out those arms. And from there, what I want you to do is look and reach back as far as you can, or trying to stay as low as you can on those heels. And then reach through. Do the other side, reaching back and looking back as far as you can. And then reaching through. The reason we're trying to stay back here is because if we are up here and we're trying to move, I'm cheating, I'm using my hip, I'm using my lower back to get that movement. But if I'm back here and I've got to move, I have to use my upper back. So it does feel restricted, but it's pretty effective. The other thing that we're going to do just to help get those shoulders down and back is a few things. One of the ones that you can do whilst you're driving, you're stuck at lights, just interlace your fingers and try and bring your arms apart. But obviously, because your fingers are interlaced, the arms aren't going anywhere. So this one, we're going to hold that kind of pull motion for 30 seconds. We're going to do it 5 times. You might only get 2 sets done at the lights, but that's okay. Just do it at the next lights as well if you are going to be doing it while driving. Hopefully your car's in park and you're being safe. And then the other one that we're going to be doing, so if you're at the office or been at home on the computer for a while and you're feeling that kind of tightness and pressure through your neck, I just want you to interlace your fingers, put them behind as low as you can get on your neck, and then just looking up a few times. You can also use your elbows to bring them up to encourage that movement. So that'll just help get a little bit more movement in through the top of your back there. And then we'll do a few more shoulder stability exercises as well at the end of this video. But since we're already on the ground, I know that we were having some stuff with the feet, just some pain and that. What we're going to do is get the toes mobilized first. So you're going to interlace your fingers between your toes as best you can, and you're going to grab those toes and you're going to just get them moving. Just do big circles in each direction. Again, with any kind of mobility stuff, you want to do it for at least 30 seconds. Ideally daily would be great. And then what we're going to do is this kind of strength part of for your feet. So for you, we're going to be strengthening the bringing the toes up motion. So you can either do that by putting a hand on the toes, and then just what I'm trying to do is lift my toes right now, but my hand's not allowing that to move. Or you can do it by putting your other foot on top of those toes. So right now I'm trying to lift those toes up, but my other foot is preventing me from bringing them up. Again, 30 seconds, do it 5 times. This one, if you can do it daily, that's fantastic. Otherwise, do it at least 3 times a week. And then let's get on to the shoulder stuff. So this is your rotator cuff just to strengthen it up, just so that your shoulder's functioning a bit better. First one that we're going to do is on the ground. So hopefully you're going to have some kind of weight. So if you've got, say, a kettlebell, you would just grab it through the handle. We're going to be pushing the weight up towards the ceiling. I've got my knee bent on the same side that I'm holding the weight on. I've got my other arm outstretched to the side, and I'm going to be rolling that way. I'm going to use this leg to push my whole body so that I rotate and look this way. All the while trying to keep this weight up towards the ceiling. Initially it's going to want to wobble around and do all kinds of crazy things, but as you practice this, it's going to get better at staying in line and then rolling back down. So you want to do that one at least 5 times each side, nice and controlled. If you don't have a kettlebell, you can use other weights that you might have around. You might use a dumbbell. You can either do it like this. If you're finding that this is way too easy, you're not really feeling any kind of challenge, you can hold the weight in a different direction. So try and make it so that it gets harder for you to balance as you roll across. So if you do have a kettlebell, what that might look like is holding it up like this instead. So just play around with that. And again, doing this one at least 2 or 3 times a week, just for the next few weeks, and see how that goes with your rotator cuff and how you're controlling it. The last one that we were going to do for your shoulder stability and just to help with that shoulder positioning is to carry around a weight. So the best one is to do, push it up. You can have it any kind of weight. You can use a bag full of stuff. You can use your handbag, whatever. The goal here is to feel that burn in through this part of your back. Yeah. So you might have to do this for 2 to 5 minutes if the bag isn't, or whatever weight that you're using isn't heavy enough. So when we're walking around with this one, we want to make sure that arm is nice and straight. It's not out here. It's not back there. And it's not out to the side, just nice and straight, right up next to your ear, and go for a walk. So by walking, you'll get that dynamic stability in through the shoulder, and it'll encourage it to come back down where it needs to be, especially if you're spending a long time driving or at the computer, any of those postures that bring you down and forward. So this will help retrain you to bring those shoulders down and back. Have a go at those ones. In terms of what to prioritize the rocking that we did at the start with the shoulder movements. That's the number one thing really. And if you can do more, it's going to be those pull aparts and then this weight thing as well. And I'll see you after lockdown.